Speaking of 50, wow, first of all, just wow. We are a people who count. Literally, since the days of creation, we have counted. God counts 6 days of work and 1 day of rest, so we do the same. We count the days of the moon and the numbers of the days of the festivals. We count each candle on the Chanukiah. We count days of mourning, 7, 30 days, a year, a yahrzeit. And this week's Torah portion, Bahar, teaches us to count the years of the Shemitah, the years of the agricultural cycle leading to the Jubilee year. We count to know how many people count for a minyan. And the Jewish communal response to advocate for the release of the hostages has also been to count the number of days that they have been held, 230. And of course, for the past 31 days, we have been counting the days of the Omer, leading from Passover to Shavuot. Counting days is an age-old practice. So I ask, why do we have the need to count so much? The days happen, whether we take note of them or not. They do not pass by any faster or slower when we count them. So what's the point? We are a people who seeks order. It's true. Counting is the act of assigning a value or an order. And by order, I don't just mean what comes after the other, but ordering that which feels out of order, chaotic, uncontrollable, incomprehensible, or not understandable. Counting and ordering give us the ability to regulate, to grasp, and to understand that which we otherwise cannot. My teacher, our teacher, Rabbi Lawrence Hoffman, explains, ritual counting is how we play out pre-arranged behavior to shape specific durations of time. Since each count is repeated, it prepares us to anticipate the details of our lives, the highs and the lows. Without ritual counting, there would be no meaningful use of time, except for accidental events that force us to laugh or cry on occasion. Ritual counting seeks to transform the inconsequential triviality of ordinary life. It helps us minimize our dependence on chance. It arranges our life into relatively small packages of moments that matter. In spiritual terms, the ritual of counting transforms the ordinary into the holy. The desire for counting seems to grow most urgent when we feel an absence of guidance. In times of uncertainty or loss, danger or trial, we feel the need to respond somehow. When we cry out, God, what am I supposed to do? Counting becomes that expressive behavior, the action that feels like it might change our situation, or at least give us an anchor while we weather the storm. When we experience a death in the family, we begin counting 7 days after burial, and then 30 days to mark the days of the mourning period, as if to acknowledge, I have made it one more day. Or counting gives us a way to attach a meaning to a particular day. The second day was excruciating, but on day 10, I experienced joy for a few moments. By counting our days, we can, in a way, celebrate our growth, our progress, resilience, and strength. We count in times of joy, too. In ancient times, the festivals were counted in order to know which day the specific sacrifice would need to be brought and offered in gratitude. For each day that passes with intention is a day well spent. And each day that includes gratitude is even richer, too. Typically, when we count something like a birthday, an anniversary, or a festival, we pause in those moments of counting, like we did tonight for our Shehechianu moments. Stopping to count forces us to ask the questions, why is this day significant? What has happened on this day in years past? And how do I want to use my time today? Counting leads us to imbue time with meaning, purpose, joy, and sanctity. And I think that this is exactly what the Omer does too. In ancient times, the days of the Omer, and Omer literally being a barley sheaf, these days were counted because the barley harvest was an anxiety-provoking time. The Israelites relied on the crop for their livelihood, and the 7 weeks that it took to cultivate and harvest the crop was an uncertain time due to harsh weather, climate, and many other variables. So the Israelites counted the days in order to make order of that difficult time. But nowadays, we do not harvest our own barley, nor do we have to fulfill the mitzvah of bringing it as an offering to the holy temple. So in changing times, the rabbis connected the counting to the weeks between Passover and Shavuot, the liberation from slavery to the revelation at Mount Sinai was this anticipatory time. It is said that when the children of Israel received the news of the freedom from Egypt, they were also told that they would receive the Torah 50 days later. And the news was so thrilling and exciting that they started counting the days. Today we say that the counting of the Omer is the bridge connecting Pesach to Shavuot, indicating that we desire not only freedom from bondage, but also freedom for a purpose, to receive Torah. Still, I would say for most of us that Shavuot, although it should be, you'll hear announcements very soon, Shavuot technically doesn't really feel like the climax of our Jewish year. So then what of the counting of the Omer? According to the mystics, the Kabbalists, the universe was created by God's 10 attributes. God has 3 attributes that are unattainable to us as humans, but the remaining 7, Sefirat, as they're called, are the qualities that we humans aspire every day to improve our character and become a better version of ourselves. So our modern practice is to count each day and each week, meditating on a certain attribute, whether it be loving kindness, courage, harmony, endurance, gratitude, foundation, or sovereignty. And each day we hone our practice of one of these attributes within another. This is what we have been doing each day in our community as we have counted and shared a meditative practice on our Facebook page. Each year, our ritual has gathered more and more counters. It gives me great joy. So this week, I asked a few of our counters why they count, and I'd like to share a few of their responses. I count to be a part of a Jewish journey and community. I feel connected to my people who are doing the same thing at roughly the same time. I even share the counting with another member of TBE who is not on Facebook. Another one of our counters shared, I count because it provides a meaningful exercise in mindfulness and a focus on the future. And another, I count the Omer because it gives me an awareness of the preciousness of time. Otherwise, I often think about what the next week or month will bring without stopping to think about today. Counting the Omer is about being in the present and appreciating the beauty and uniqueness of each day. This counter's remark reminds me of a story about a parent and a child who were out walking when they came upon a treasure trove of gems. The child was not able to appreciate the great value of these precious things, so the parent commanded that the child pick up just as much as they could carry. "How much is this worth?" the child asked with their arms full. "Now is not the time to occupy yourself with this," said the parent. "Just be strong, my child, and take what you can carry. When you arrive home, then you can count and measure what you have gathered, and then you will understand its worth." God, too, shines a light on that which is beyond our capacity to absorb and understand, whether it be in joyous times or in challenging ones. But by counting each little bit at a time, we contemplate and slowly come to appreciate it until we have a full understanding of its true value. Counting the Omer is a gift of the Jewish experience, a thoughtful ritual of spiritual elevation and self-refinement. Counting is a ritual that the Torah says in Leviticus that we shall do for ourselves. We cannot simply put an amen on someone else's counting, according to the Torah, and be fulfilled. Every single one of us must stop and count on their own. Every person must carry the weight of the day's precious gem and measure its value. After all, the meaning of each moment is unique for each one of us. So tonight, we will each count. Raising our individual voices, we will continue with the ancient ritual of Sefirat HaOmer, marking this very moment in time as sacred and valuable. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Here comes that melody again. Did we all remember it from an hour ago? Let's honor Rabbi Saphire's teaching tonight by joining it together in a counting of the Omer, beginning with this melody. L'Shem Yichud, Kudsha Brichu Ushchintei, Hineni Muchanu Mezuman, Lekayem Mitzvat Aseh, Shel Sefirat HaOmer, Shel Sefirat HaOmer, Shel Sefirat HaOmer, Shel Sefirat HaOmer, Sheva Shabbatot, Timimot Tiena, Sheva Shabbatot, Timimot Tiena, Shel Sefirat HaOmer, Shel Sefirat HaOmer, Shel Sefirat HaOmer, Shel Sefirat HaOmer. Ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la la, ya la 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 ya la.
It is a tradition to rise for the counting of the Omer, so we're going to make sure we add a little sacred
Drama.
sanctity to, yes, thank you.
To a
That's the word
dramatic
I was
moment.
looking for.
Yes. Let's join together in this special melody. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Al Sefirat HaOmer. Hayom Shnayim Ushloshim Yom Shehem Arba'a Shavuot V'Arba'a Yamim LaOmer. Today is 32 days, which is 4 weeks and 4 days of the Omer. We remain